Hello and welcome back to this channel. Today's going to be a very fun video because today we are going to be doing another informational plant tour. Now there is so much to talk about, from plant growth to some problems I'm starting to notice that are happening very quickly. There's so much to talk about, so before we start, please subscribe. I'd really love it if you would hit the bell notification on all so you do not miss our video, and please like this video. Let's go start today's video. Now, there's so much to talk about, but before we do talk about the plants, I really want to talk about a setup that I might be working on soon to hopefully make the production in this room work a little bit more smoothly. Now, I really want to put in a shelf right here, so that means this charm section that I'm using for tropical twist slime will be moved. So this shelf, everything on that will be taken off. It'll be all kind of crammed onto that shelf, but this shelf will be moved all the way over here, and then we will move this, so then the shelf will go right in this spot, and then this shelf will take that shelf's spot, and then we would do a lot of stuff on the shelf. A lot like that dehumidifier would go on the top of it, or that humidifier will go on the top of it. A lot of maintenance stuff like our tubes, our cords, maybe soil, like the coconut cord when we buy it for the blocks. Maybe soil, our topsoil. I really do want to kind of get another fish tank, 2 fish tanks. Petco is having their fish tanks 50% off, so I'm very interested to get a nicer fish tank and put that on one of the shelves, like let's say, like here. Like, I think it'd be very cool if I could put like a fish tank like right here on this shelf, because I mean, it might be a little too kind of low or too high, so I might bring it down a few inches, but I really feel like this could be a perfect level, and we would have a ton of stuff for that. I've been watching a lot of videos of working with shrimp, and I really feel like it could be a cool and fun thing. I also want to buy a really cheap tank that could be used as a quarantine tank. I've heard some mixed reviews about it, but I guess it does work very good, so I might consider it. So if you guys want to see that type of stuff happen, it'll probably happen within like 2 months. So I'd really love it if you'd subscribe to help make that happen. And I really want to start doing some giveaways possibly very soon. We're also working on our setup outside for our big garden that we do a lot of content with during the summer. So I'm very excited about that. But let's go ahead and start talking about this. So oregano, absolutely thriving. Now what's insane is 4 days, well, more like 2 days ago, I did another informational plant tour just like this, and I was talking about how I could barely see this. Now, that label right there is pretty much completely covered. To be honest, I don't even know where the other label went, actually. Well, oh, here it is. Well, let's go ahead and pick that up, put it up there. For some reason, I keep walking up and down this aisle to work on the aquaponics and hydroponics, stuff like that. And then, yeah, so the cilantro, it's had better days, let's just say that. Definitely still doing good. Cilantro definitely smells absolutely incredible. Really love that plant. It's gotta be one of my favorites. Now, if you guys happened to see our video yesterday, we were actually talking about how we were planning to do an order for the strawberries. I'm gonna put that order on hold for a little bit right now because I want to sketch out my plan for outside and what I'm planning to grow and what I want to plant bigger amounts of. Like the peas, I really want to plant big amounts of that and then have like potatoes sitting under it. So I really feel like that could be some great things. I'm really going to be working with those very soon. I'm going to be buying peas in bulk. Now I already have about a pound of them, and I think I'm going to buy about 5 more pounds later on. And then, well, I might try to get 10 depending on if they go clearance. I really want to have kind of like a melon field of like growing different types of melons, like watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew melon, all sorts of stuff like that. So I also really want to go pretty big with the strawberries, but I don't really know what's happening with the strawberries currently, so I'm going to be talking about that in a second. Now, the peas, I swear they've like doubled their size in the last like day. They're absolutely thriving, and I really feel like it's going to be a very good harvest with this. I don't know if they'll flower. If they do, then yay, but if they don't, then we'll have some problems. The problem we had last time, we've done this same exact setup once at the very beginning of when we had the setup last year. they got to the very top and they started like swallowing up the actual like shelf. The process of cleaning that up really sucked, but it never flowered, which was really weird. So I think I might start cutting it down. Like once it starts getting up, I might try to cut some parts on that are really kind of swallowing up the shelf. But right now it's doing very good, and it looks like as of right now they're starting to send out runners, or not runners, they're sending out vines, which has happened within like the last 2 hours. So it is growing very quickly. Well, that's great, huh? So I might, depending on how this might go, I might have the entire shelf go, but I'm gonna have to use a lot of the shelves for germinating stuff that will go outside. So all of this is cherry tomatoes. All of these are doing very good, especially the middle two shelves. Will they flower? Don't know. I have no clue. It will really depend on what really does happen, but I'm really hoping they will be able to kind of grow enough to when they start producing strawberries, or not, or tomatoes. I've been doing so much filming today, I can barely talk. So it'll be very interesting, because that was the last problem I had the last time I did the same exact setup. So I might have to take some of these tomatoes out as the plants start to get a little bit bigger. Now, going over here, we have two different types of flowers. We have morning glories and cosmos, and then we have lavender. Lavender is doing all right. I'll probably go ahead and get rid of all of these later in about a week or something. But definitely on the board to get rid of it soon. That leaf right there does not look very good. It's like an animal or like a bug or something's been happening with it. It just doesn't look great. Well, that's interesting, but plant's definitely thriving. It's doing very good, and I'm very excited about the plants. So now we have bunching onions right here. Now they're definitely doing good. Now, if you guys have seen our other videos, we've had some problems trying to get more soil. We just had a huge snowstorm, one of the biggest snowstorms we've ever had in years. So definitely some things in that area, so we can't really get soil. Plus, with how much it did snow, where we do get our soil, the soil sits outside on a pallet, so I don't really want to have to deal with absolutely soaked soil and like a frozen block of soil. Yeah, there's that. So I might wait a little bit towards like a end of a warmer day. Like kind of today's was a little bit warmer, but who knows? It could do good. It could possibly do bad. We'll just see. Then I don't know where I put the label, but this is well, I think, yes, this is peppermint. I had to think there for a second. I've done a lot of work with plastic. And then we have lemongrass. I've never worked with lemongrass ever. So if you guys have any information about lemongrass, I'd really love to hear. Just whatever you want to say about lemongrass, of how to make it grow, how to get it to germinate, good ways of making the plant healthy, how to know when to harvest it. That could be a very good question once I do have the plant growing. Now, if you guys check out this, our peas are finally growing in these weird looking pots I ended up kind of putting together at the last minute. So we also have tomatoes in these. Those are very exciting, but check out those. That's exciting, so exciting. Now, going over to one of my favorite setups I've done in a very long time is going to be the aquaponics. Now, this morning we posted a video. That was a very big video, because we were actually cleaning out the system. A lot of the water, about half of it, is new, clean water. If you look on the side, the water looks so good. It's not like that dark pea color, so that's good. Water is heating up too. It's gone up about 1 degree in the last about hour, so it's not super significant, but it's definitely progress. Then the biofilter, let me just say, that was one of the sickest experience. It's just the things I've done in a very long time, in a few weeks, but at the end of the day, it's still going to be good for the fish and plants now that the biofilter is cleaned out and all the solids can go back to the bottom. So then we have basil. Basil's doing pretty good. Now what's weird is this has a little bit of some algae forming in some spots, but not a ton. But over here, the basil has algae growing, like this one right here. Definitely algae growing. And then we go down one tank, and it's like, oh my gosh, Like, check that out. That is absolutely horrifying. I mean, that's like the best word I could like describe that with. That is not good at all. Now, I've had some comments in the last few days of recommendations. Like, I just read a comment a few seconds ago before I filmed this video, and someone was commenting about something that could be forming the algae is these clear hoses, clear tubes, light getting in and forming, stuff like that. So that was a really, really good recommendation. I might actually have to think about that. So to whoever commented that, thank you so much. They also gave some other really, really good recommendations. So thank you for those too. I'll have to comment to that one right after I'm done filming that. So, yeah. So if you guys have any recommendations of things that I didn't ask or something that you think I'm doing wrong, please comment that down too. I'd really, really love to hear feedback from other people that know what they're doing. Yeah, so we have oregano right here. The oregano is doing really, really good. Very, very excited about that. Then going down one shelf, we have the tomatoes, a little shelf. Then we have cucumbers. Cucumbers are very exciting. And then we have the cilantro. Now the cilantro, doing absolutely phenomenal. Very excited about that. Now, something that's very weird is, so I'm growing peas in the system, which is fine. But check this out. What on earth? I did not realize peas did that. Or are they supposed to do that? It's like the seed that forms an outer layer, like a very, very hard outer layer that almost protects the plant in a way. It's kind of like the headquarters of the plant base. But all of them did that, which is interesting. So if you guys think that could be something bad potentially that I should get rid of, please comment that down, because I'd really love to hear that. And definitely progress on the growth of the pea plant. Roots definitely going out good. Very excited about that. And yeah, so I think I covered pretty much everything else. We got some, those don't look good at all. That actually kind of looks gross. So does that. So does that. So does that. Same. Oh, that one's bad. Well, I gotta say, as the system keeps going for each day, I gotta say it's more disappointing every single day to see what's going on. But it's always a good day. Always something new going on. It's always a good learning experience. If you guys have any other recommendations of some things that you think I could be doing wrong. Now, I do feel like something I could be doing wrong is there's too much water. That could be a potential thing. But I don't really know. Water definitely is a little bit higher than the other system, which is weird because same grow lights. So water flow definitely calm on this, which is interesting. And then definitely some of the roots are burnt in this, but if you look in the system, none of it is burnt, or none of it has algae in it. Same with mold. There's no mold in it. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. I do feel like every day the stuff in the system gets a little bit worse. The plants look worse and worse constantly every single day. So it'll be very interesting to do some work with that and do some learning. I do feel like it is a great learning experience still, because even though the plants aren't thriving, at the end of the day, we're still learning some great stuff about fish that I never really thought I'd do, because I've never had fish ever. I've never worked with fish in my life. The last 2 weeks has been the first time I've ever worked with fish, which is pretty crazy. But there could be so many possibilities. Too much waste going into the system could be hurting the plants. Too much water, that could be a big one. Too much water is going into the system, causing all of these issues. So I might somehow look at the filter or look at the pump and see if I can kind of slow down the water flow. Definitely a stronger pump. I kind of knew this would happen in a way. but I kind of ignored it because I just, yeah. So if you guys have any other recommendations on this, I'd really, really love to hear in the comments. We've had some great comments in the last few just weeks from recommendations about the hydroponics we've had throughout a few months, which has done very, very well. So thank you to everyone that commented those ideas. And then now it's aquaponics time. If you guys think I've done anything wrong, please comment that down. I'd really, really love to hear what you guys think, because I really feel like I personally tried almost everything I could think of to stop the algae growth. I really feel like it did work for about a week and a half, and now it just feels like I have no control in it anymore. But yeah, so if you guys have any recommendations, please comment that down. And yeah, this is gonna be done. So please subscribe, hit the bell notification on all so you do not miss our video, and please like this video. I just want to give a second to thank you all for watching today's video and supporting the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow when we post next. Peace.